If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, holographist coach, Christine McIver.
Well, my friends, here we are again. We are together again. I didn't know I was going to sing. Isn't that fun? Welcome, my friends. I am Christine McIver. I am your host of Inspired Choices, the radio, TV, and podcast. And I'm also the owner of the Inspired Choices Network. So that's why if you're watching the video or the TV, that's why you'll see that behind me. This is part of my business creations. And tonight, we're talking all about business. Now, whether you're someone who already has a business, you're thinking about starting a business, or you're just curious what it would actually take, or you're someone that's actually looking to expand your business, stick around. This show's for you tonight. And I'm going to be talking about the things that you need to be paying attention to prior to starting your business or expanding your business. The things that most people don't even talk about. Most people are going to talk about the easy things, something you can go and search on the internet and find what should I be focusing on if I'm starting my own business. No, this is going to be a different show for every single person. So I'm very excited that you're listening, and I'm really excited to hear your input about the show and what's actually going on for you. So it is May the 5th, 2021, and today is Cinco de Mayo. And so in celebration of that, just because I can, I have actually created some beautiful margaritas that I'm enjoying. And I'm celebrating all about business today because business really is my jam. It's such a pleasure to me to do business and to be in concert with my business and to be in concert with the people that choose to work with me with their businesses. To me, business is one of the most pleasurable things in the world to create. And I want to share that joy with each and every one of you. And that's why I do a lot of the shows that I do. So if you'd like to connect with me and learn more about what I do and how I work with people, you can find me at my website, inspiredchoices.ca, or you can find me on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok. You'll find me everywhere because that's part of this doing business right now, right? So let's dive into tonight's show. So you want to start a business. Should I start a business? The question goes through your mind over and over, playing out so many different scenarios. Then you decide, yes. No, I don't know. Starting a business is an emotional decision that requires support and planning. You heard me right. Starting a business is an emotional decision. Most people believe that it's an economic decision. It's not. It's actually an emotional decision to support oftentimes financial and economic desires. Pay attention to that. First, for most new business owners or prospective business owners, they do it the other way around. First, they plan like crazy and pray and maybe ask for support, but keep it real and logical. And then where to go? They don't know where to go. So tonight we're going to be answering some of these big questions about starting a business or expanding a business. And I've actually got 10 things for you to implement in starting or expanding your business. And if you're interested in this list, and I'll remind you later, if you're interested in this list, send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Or if you would like to, go on a discovery call with me. Every single person that reaches out to me, I give them a half an hour to see if there's actually a connection between us, what you're desiring to accomplish, and seeing if that's something that I can definitely support you with. All right, so let's jump into tonight's show. So the first, this is such a huge thing. This is the number one thing, and it is number one on my list, okay? And it is to dream big and fall in love with your idea over and over and over again. It's so important Most of us, this is the process that most people go on. Okay. They get this idea and it pops and they get so excited and they want it. They want it right now. They want it to happen immediately. They want to tell the world, they want to scream it from the mountaintops. And then when they do that, all of a sudden they get overwhelmed with, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Oh my God, what am I going to price it at? Where am I going to do it? Do I have to do a website? How do I do a website? Oh my gosh, who's going to want to buy from me? There's competition out there. And they go searching and they get so overwhelmed in it that all of a sudden this really, really important step, dreaming, gets lost in the noise of how to create the business. All right. This is not about the hows. This is about the things that you need to do to start your business. You got to dream big. You got to dream big and fall deeply, deeply in love with your business. You've got to deeply fall in love with the business idea. And you want to nurture that dream. You want to nurture those ideas. I want you to think of it like a baby. All right. If you've ever been pregnant or you've ever known someone that's been pregnant, they get really excited about, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a baby. And then they start to planning and coming up with names and all the rest of it. And then there's this big pause between the excitement that came and the planning that they did and the waiting for the baby to arrive. And if you're lucky, in that space, you start to actually imagine what it's going to be like to hold your baby in your arms. You start to imagine what your baby's face is going to look like, what your baby's voice is going to sound like, who your baby might look like, what your baby might enjoy, what your baby may grow up to be. And you spend a lot of time really playing in that dream space, really playing. And you do not have a choice. You do not have a choice to know the answer to those questions. And that, my friends, is the space where you fall in love. This is the space where you fall in love with your baby. You don't fall in love with your baby the moment you see them. You've fallen in love with them long before that because you've given it energy. You've given this baby and this relationship energy to dream of the possibilities. Well, my friend, your business or your business idea is absolutely the same. You have got to allow this business idea. You've got to allow this new idea, whether it's a new business or a new area of your business, you've got to allow that time for you to fall in love and for this dream of this business to start to expand and grow. You don't want to jump too quickly because the business won't be ready. Because you've just learned about this business. You've just learned about this business. And what is really going to connect you to your business and to this business idea is this space of dreaming. Is there a set time, Christine? No, there's not a set time. But you'll know. You will know when the time is. You'll be excited and excited and excited and really excited. And you'll just keep being with it and ask the question, is today the day that I begin to bring this new idea to the world? And the day that it actually becomes the day is the day where your excitement meets your calm. Your excitement meets your calm. And in that moment, you will have a level of confidence with this business that you never even imagined. It's kind of like the energy of when that baby is born and you hold that baby in your arms for the first time. You just know that you know this baby, and you just know that that love that you have for this baby will never go away. The same is true of your business. And I'm spending a lot of time on this because this is very, very important. Because if you have a baby who's grown into a wild toddler or an unruly teenager, it's that love that will sustain you through the growth of the child. And the same is true when you're in the growth of your business. Nurture that dream, nurture that love, and allow it to grow within your heart so that it's going to be an amazing creation. All right, let's move on to step number 2. Become committed to your idea. Actually, I want you to become so committed to your idea that you make a commitment, you make an agreement. Sit down after you've dreamed for a while, okay? After you dreamed, so don't jump too soon. Sit down and write out an agreement on how you're going to be committed to your business. I talk to my business all the time, and I have for years. And initially, I thought I was crazy. I'm a little cuckoo, but, and talking to my business and being connected deeply with my business is one of the ways that I learned about this, that it's very important that we sit and we write out an agreement with our business. Your business has an energy all unto its own. And if you've listened to any of my other shows, you've heard me say this before. It's its own entity, and it requires you to treat it as such. It's not something to ignore or something you just tell what to do. You want to be in connection with it and make an agreement that you're going to be committed to your business. It's very important to understand, my friends, that when you are committed to your business, you create a different relationship with your business. And you don't just throw the towel in when things get tough. Like any relationship, when you make a commitment to the relationship and the people in that relationship, when things get tough, you don't run away because you yourself have decided that this is valuable and you've made a commitment to it. So that's number 2. We're going to go for a break in just a few minutes, but I want to give you number 3. As you continue to dream, begin writing down the ideas of this business. All of the things that you want to do, that you think you need to do, and might someday do. You're just writing them down. That's all you're doing, okay? All of these steps, my friends, are in advance of the big launch, okay? So spend some time after you've been dreaming and after you've written your commitment to your business. Spend some time in this space of writing down everything. And it doesn't have to be succinct. Just whenever something pops into your mind, write it down. Put it in your phone if you're out somewhere. Make yourself a voice note, but create this really robust list. So you get everything out of your mind, right? You dump all of that out. So you're not worrying. You're not worrying about what has to be done or that you're going to forget something. Just take all of it and put it all down there. You will get to that space of organizing, but it's very, very important that when the thoughts come in, and they are coming from your requests, your desires that you've been putting out there, as well as from your business. So when those thoughts come in, write them down. Write them down. I have lists all the time, and I'll go through my lists and I'll throw those pieces of paper away, or I have a whiteboard on the wall and I'll write my ideas down. And as those ideas are present, you start to give them energy. So that's another really good reason to write down your ideas to this amazing business that's nurturing within you, within your heart, and within your desires. So we are up to our first break of the show. I want you to stick around if you'd like to know more about some very, very important things that I really strongly encourage you to know and connect with before you start a business, before you expand your business. Most people jump really quickly, and they end up struggling, oftentimes emotionally and financially, because they haven't allowed something to grow first. And before you leave, before we go to our break, I want to just remind you about our app. Inspired Choices now has its own app. You can get it in the Android store, Google Play, or you can get it in Apple. You can download the app. You can listen live. If I press that right now, you'd hear my voice twice. You can also go over and you can check out all of the shows, and you can scroll down and you can click, there's mine, and you can click on any of the shows that you like, and you can listen to over 6,000 podcasts that we have accumulatively in our network. As well, you can come down here and you can click on there and you can join us in the chat room when you're listening live. So do go check that out. Okay, my friends, we are up for our first break. You are listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices radio, TV, and podcast on the Inspired Choices Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. So glad that you're here tonight. We are talking about business. So you want to start a business or expand a business. And before we went for break, if you're just joining us, I gave out the first 3 of 10 tips that you need to pay attention to nurture and bring a new business or a new business idea into the world. So you want to go back definitely and listen to that. Before we get into step number 4, one of the things that I really, really want you to hear is that having patience is so, so important in business. I learned that the hard way. I am not, well, let me correct that. I have not been a patient person. I've not been someone that was willing to wait and allow something to grow and nurture. And I have learned that that is actually one of the kindest things for my creations and for myself, is to allow something to grow. Here is an email that I got that I wanted to share that I thought was very, very good and a great reminder. What true patience is knowing that you want it and knowing that it's coming and actually enjoying the unfolding along the way. Isn't that fabulous? I just love that. It's the knowing. If you have got something on your mind, if you have got something in your heart, a desire, and you stay with that and you keep nurturing it and you make the choices to move forward and have that in your world, you can know for absolute certainty that it will be coming. And that is a great reminder, especially when we are in business. Now, one of the things that I did when started my business is I was still employed with another organization. And so I didn't put the pressure on my business to perform out of the gate. And that's something that I really want people to listen to and pay attention. Don't put yourself under a lot of pressure with this new creation. And so that's why, if you're not putting yourself under pressure, these tips that I'm giving you and the way that you can nurture this business to come to the surface and this business idea, this is going to be a lot easier for you and for your business. Okay, so let's get back to number 4. Number 4 is get support from a professional before you launch hours and hours into starting your business. You know, the ego can take a hit at this point, my friends. The ego can really take a hit because if it's your idea and you really feel very passionate about it, the idea of reaching out for support could feel like that somebody's going to know better than you. No, the dream is yours. That's the foundation of the whole thing. But when you reach out and get support and you start to learn about some of the steps that's going to be required to bring that list, number 3, to bring some of that list into actualization, even ideas of what order to do the different steps or timelines, realistic investment that may be required. When you get that information and you've got somebody who knows their business and they know what it takes to do what you're dreaming of doing, that is going to give you knowledge, and knowledge is power. Okay. No matter what that person says, if that person isn't a match for you, reach out to someone else for support. But it's so important that the person that you reach out to is you get a real connection from them. And you know that you can speak to them with confidence and confidentiality. This is a very important step because having someone who's an expert or is very well versed in starting businesses is going to give you an edge in starting your business. You're not going to go in blind. That is, when you've got somebody in your corner, that's a big, big piece that a lot of people don't have until way, way, way past, years past struggling in a business. They learn on the fly. And you're going to learn a lot of things on the fly, but why not get some support up front? Make it easier on you so you can continue to enjoy that dream. That's a big, big piece. Okay, number 5 is think about the way businesses operate today, how they create connections, how they promote, how they make sales. The way business is done today, if you're thinking about going into business, you will have been a consumer, a customer of businesses, and likely the business that's speaking to you, you've had exposure to something like that in the past. But the way businesses are done today is very different than it was done even 10 years ago. In a very short window, things have changed dramatically. So you want to really think about all these things, and you want to start listing out at least 10 steps for each of these things. How do I create connections today? How do I promote this business? How do I make sales with this business? Write out at least 10 steps of what you believe is how you can do it. All right. Understand those. And then you want to review that list and you want to be honest and vulnerable with yourself. Okay. Now, don't make a conclusion of what I'm about to say to you, but you want to make that list, and then you want to evaluate each of those steps, and you want to Really say, I'm great at this. I'm okay at this. I have no idea. I'm great at this. I'm okay at this. I have no idea. All right. Give it one of those three. You can just give it a 1 or a 2 or a 3, 1 being not so great, 3 being really great. It doesn't matter. Just mark it some way that you're being honest with yourself about that. Because when you are doing that, it's going to start to show you where the gaps are in your knowledge and your abilities. Now, some of these things you might be able to learn quite easily. Some of these things you might want to hire somebody for. What I want you to remember in making these decisions about this list is that when you are learning, and you're always going to be learning and growing when you're in your own business, because you're in constant creation when you're in your own business. All right. You are, especially at the speed of the way things change nowadays in business. You are going to be in continuous creation with how to do things. Okay. And all of the different pieces of technology that are out there, you're going to be in constant learning and creation. Okay. So what's really important to know is that you might be a great student. You might learn very, very easily. But when you look at your time and you look at how much time you're willing to commit to your business, if you're taking that time and you're devoting it to learning and growing in different new areas that you're not knowledgeable or skilled in, then you're not over here working in your business. It's not a right or a wrong thing. You've just got to understand that if you are depending on your business for a financial resource and your physical resource is focused over on growing and learning, then you're not going to have that time to actually be working your business. Okay. And that's an important piece. Something that I learned a long, long time ago is if I could make $100 an hour doing what I do in my business, and I'm over learning and doing a task that the market bears $25 an hour for someone to do, does it really make sense for me to be doing that task or even learning that skill on a deep level when my business can actually support both myself doing the work and support hiring someone to do that work? And that's something that you will look at again and again and again. But you want to be really understanding that there can be a lot of learning and growing, and it can be a lot of fun. But does it make sense with your targets, with what you're wanting to do in your business? That's a very big thing to look at. Okay, we're going to go to number 6, and then we're going to go for our second break of the show. Now, this is a really, really important thing. And a lot of people don't think it is, but it so is a big, big piece. So number 6 is get a cheerleader. Not necessarily your spouse or your friend or a family member. You want to get a cheerleader, somebody that is going to be there excited with you as you grow your business. Now, this is somebody that's different from a support person. The support person might be excited and cheering you on, but you need to have a cheerleader, someone you can turn to and say, oh my God, look at what I just did. Look at what I did. And that they will be there cheering you on again and again. Because my friends, the one thing that I absolutely know is as you are growing and expanding and learning, it can be overwhelming and exhausting, emotionally, mentally exhausting. And you're going to need to have your cup filled up again and again to keep bringing you the energy that you require to continue to move forward and grow and expand in this business. And a cheerleader does just that. They can really bring your energy up. Now, this is also not somebody that you're going to for counseling. Don't look to them to counsel you when you're having super difficult times. You might say to them, I really struggled with this today. I struggled with this, but I did this. Woo! Right? Have that person, give that person the opportunity to cheer you on and look to a professional to support you through the tough stuff. All right? Okay, we are up to our second break of the show. And I want to remind you again about our fabulous app. The Inspired Choices Network has its own app where you can listen live or you can check out all of our 6,000 plus podcasts. We've got speakers and episodes about practically every topic you can possibly imagine. And all of them have the foundation of wanting to bring consciousness to the world. They contribute like crazy. And they've also, all of these amazing hosts have contributed fabulous gifts. We have a huge contest on right now where we have over $13,000 worth of gifts and prizes that you can win. It's super easy. Go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/contest and you will see all the details there. There's the links to get the app, everything you can possibly imagine. And every day, I have the pleasure of awarding 3 of our listeners a gift from one of these amazing hosts. So do check that out and enjoy listening to these fabulous creations. I'm telling you, having this in your hand and listening on the go is so easy and such a contribution. So stick around, my friends. We'll be back right after this break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you ready to have pleasure with your business? Yes, I said pleasure with your business. The Pleasure of Business a la carte will surprise you with topics like meet yourself in the boardroom, money, services, and you. Expand your visibility. The pleasure of communication. The pleasure of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Christine McIver has so much pleasure with business and loves teaching all things business. Beginning a new business? Desiring to expand a current business? Or looking to resurrect a business that has been dormant? This program will get you fired up and bring more pleasure than you have ever imagined. Exhausted with your excuses for not creating a phenomenal business? Join now for all the pleasure with business. Pleasure of Business a la carte gives you total choice for what you desire and what your business requires. That's 24 weeks of different topics to choose from with weekly calls, audio and video recordings, and PDFs. This class will have you dive right in and use tools to create the business that has been speaking to you. Go to inspiredchoices.ca for full details or join the Facebook page Pleasure of Business a la carte. Now is the time for you and your business.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, my friends. Did you download the app yet? Come on, my friends, download the damn app. That's a joke that we came up with during our launch just a couple of weeks ago. Oh my gosh. And it's been so much fun seeing all the people enjoying the app and talking about how it's contributing to them. That was one of my most recent expansions of my business is this app that I keep referring to. And this app is something that I have been desiring. Now, when I talk about nurturing something, I'm not kidding. This is something that I have been dreaming about having in my business for many years, ever since I started producing. And I started producing in 2014, January of 2014. So it probably wasn't right then, but I would say within a year after starting to produce, it was something that came to mind. And it's something that I have written on my whiteboard. And it's something that I've dreamed about and thought about and read about and talked about and really looked at all aspects of it. And I shared it with my cheerleader, and my cheerleader was over the moon when I said, guess what? We've got our own app, because she remembered. She remembered me talking about it and dreaming about it, which is such an important aspect. Okay, so let's get back into our list. So tell me if you've got any comments or questions about the items that I've listed so far. I'd love to hear. Whether you're listening live or you're listening in the podcast or watching one of the TV episodes, I would really love to know what it is for you that pops. All of it may not pop. These are definitely my points of view based on my experience and what I've seen other people do that hasn't been a contribution, and some that have. So I'd love to hear what it is for you that's popping. All right, so number 7 is ask for an accountability partner. Don't post on social media, I'm thinking of starting a business. Oh my God, if you do that, be ready to be overloaded. I am telling you, you will get overloaded. And now this is definitely something that I did that now I know, yeah, not so much. I actually posted on LinkedIn that I was looking for um, someone that would create an app. And I'm telling you, my friends, I was so overloaded in that post. And of course, they could find my email, and I must have received at minimum, 100 emails about this. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? I went into overwhelm and I went, stop. And anybody that sent me an email, this may not have been the most intelligent thing, but I wasn't ready. It was too much. And it was all real heavy push energy. And I literally just deleted all those emails. I was like, no, like that was not a smart move on my part. It's just kind of throwing it out there. And what happens is you're going to get people, a lot of people who think they know something and they're not a true expert in their field. It's kind of like posting, hey, I've got a pain in my stomach. Anybody have any ideas? And you will get everybody that has ever had a thought about what a pain in your stomach means posting and telling you where to go and who to go to. And what you want to be doing is you want to be going to a professional, right? So when you have an accountability partner and you're someone that is actually, you're saying, this is what I want to accomplish, this is what I want to be doing, and you're putting that out there to them, and you're talking about starting a business, or you have questions about different aspects or what you want to accomplish, this accountability partner will check in with you. Now, this is a really fun thing because sometimes it can be someone who is maybe just a little ahead of you in the creation of a business, or someone that has already been in their business and they're happy to just check in with you and say, so Jen, how you doing on that book? How you doing on your writing? And just a very gentle nudge. And you really want to make a commitment to this accountability partner, because one of the things that we do is we get lost. Business owners get lost in the to-dos, and there can be a lot of to-dos, and we put these pieces on the back burner again and again and again. And we really, really have to make them important because, and I'm going to loop right back up to number one, because our dream requires it. If you have a dream of this business and what this business looks like, and you've been nurturing and nurturing and nurturing this dream, if you're not holding yourself accountable or having somebody hold you accountable, that dream is going to start to wither. It's going to start, it's like a balloon, and the air is going to go out of that balloon. And it can be more and more challenging each and every day to give your business the love and attention and energy and time and money investment that's required for a business. Let's get real, my friends. A business is going to be work. A business is going to require you to step up, and a business and anything worth doing is going to require your investment. The investment of your time, the investment of your vulnerability, the investment of your money. These things are true of every single business out there. And if someone tells you it's not, they're not being real with you. It's not true. If you are someone that has a lot of extra money, you have, I can't think of the words right now, I'm sorry, but you have extra cash flow sitting around that you can invest into a business and you can hire people to do that business, that's a different story. I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the people that have something in their heart and it's jumping for them to get started. And I'm showing you how you can do it without it draining both you emotionally and financially. Because when you set the stakes down in order, just like I'm listing, and you do it in this order, it is going to be a much more supportive process and take a lot less time and money when you are actually setting yourself up for success. And that's what these steps will do. Okay, so we definitely need an accountability partner and someone that is going to help you so you won't feel overloaded or that you've actually let down on your dreams. Okay, wow, the time is flying. The next step that I want to talk about is number 8. Be willing to be kind to yourself as you learn and grow with your business. Now, this may not seem very important, but I can tell you it is extremely important. You need to give yourself time to hone your craft with your new business. We can be incredibly hard on ourselves. We can be incredibly judgmental with the results. We are always looking at the results of the outcome of our actions, not the actual nurturing and growing of our learning and our creating. And allowing yourself time to learn and grow and being kind to yourself along this process. And super important is acknowledging your accomplishments. This is incredibly important. And that's a way that when you are acknowledging your accomplishments, that's a big way of being kind to you in your process. And you're also going to be kind to your business because you're not going to be angry at your business. You're not going to be frustrated with your business. You're not going to feel like your business let you down. And that is something that many people have felt along the process of growing a brand new business or a new business idea. Okay, we are going to go to our final break of the show. And when we get back, we're going to go through the last 2 steps of the 10 steps to start or expand a business. I know these are probably very different than what you expect when you talk about starting a business, but these steps are something that I know can be such a huge asset as you dive into bringing a business into the world. There are steps to prepare, and these are the steps that I suggest are extremely important. So my friends, you're listening to your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we get back, we will dive more into some of these steps to starting or expanding a business.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, my friends, how you doing? How is this list landing for you? You still thinking about that business? I hope so, because when a business idea comes to you, it definitely wants to come through you. And what you do in the steps and the preparation for bringing this business into the world and your first steps as it births out into the world will make a difference with your relationship with not only your business, but with yourself. This can be one of the most exciting times in your life. This can be one of the most proud moments of growing yourself and really stepping up to say, I've got an idea and I think it's something worth value that's valuable. And at the same time, it can be really hard. It can be something that you really question yourself. It's no surprise that a lot of businesses don't survive even the first year. And I think this is one of the biggest reasons why is because they're coming at it from an economic perspective. They are measuring their success based on the economics of it, and they are pushing. They are often pushing. They've got push energy, they've got demand energy, and they are actually repelling people away from them. They're not working in concert with their business. They're not working in concert with their business ideas. And they're certainly not being somebody that's actually in question. When you are in question and you're asking questions about your ideas, about the possibilities of different things, that's where it can be a lot of fun. And that's where you're going to discover more and more and more about yourself and about being in business. So let's get to the last two steps that I really think are important. The ninth step is being willing to change with your business as it grows. Be willing to change. When you are willing to be flexible and change with your business, things can be so much easier. You want to be flexible with the market and know that this is going to be true always. There's always going to be change, and your willingness to grow and be flexible with the changes is going to support you and support your business. It doesn't mean that your ideas are wrong, but as you grow and as your business grows and as times change, you are going to want to be able to be flexible so that you can continue to move forward. I'm going to tell you something you already know, but a lot of businesses had to pivot during the pandemic. They really had to look at what they were doing and how they could do it differently. And a lot of businesses didn't think that they were going to have to do that. There was a lot of ego involved, and they became stubborn and they became unwilling to do things differently. Those businesses are not around. There's a lot of those businesses are not around anymore. There are some companies that completely changed what they were doing. They looked at the resources that they had, what the market was looking for, and they changed their business model. Now, it's not to say that once things get to a space of where we're not in such a high alert and staying away from each other, that their businesses can't pivot back to what it was before for a more in-person experience. But you've got to be willing to pivot, to change based on what's going on in your area, in the world around you. That is going to support you to continue to grow. Be willing to change as the business grows, and be willing to have somebody, your accountability partner, or maybe you've got a business coach. If you're looking for a business coach, I'm a business coach. I'm a strategic business coach, and I work with many, many businesses to help them to grow and see beyond what they can't see. See, that's one of the things that we all need to have business coaches, because we get so attached to our ideas that we actually can't see what's out around there. So when you are actually working with a business coach, they're going to support you and to show you what's possible for you to grow. The number 10, then this is the last one, and this one is just as big as number 1. All right. Remember, number 1 was dreaming. Well, number 10 is celebrating. Celebrate your wins over and over and over again. Celebration is the fuel for your creative mind and for your ego to continue to feel good, to move forward. Celebrating is that step that most of us just jump right on past, and we just keep going back into the creation and creation and more creation and more creation, and make more money and make more money and get out there and get out there and get out there. Without that celebration, without fanning those flames of celebration of all of your accomplishments, the little ones and the big ones, you will burn out. You will burn out. You need to take that time to celebrate. The day that we actually launched the Inspired Choices Network app, there was a lot of work that could have been done, a lot of marketing, a lot of promotion, a lot of people that I could have spoken to, a lot of things that I could have done. And I said, no, no, today is all about the celebration. Today is all about the celebration. And that's what I did. I celebrated all day long. I had so much fun. And what I was doing in that celebration is I was actually thanking my business, and I was thanking the creation of this app for coming into actualization in my world. And that actually filled me up for moving forward and for growing. Are you willing to dream? Are you willing to celebrate? And are you willing to really make a commitment, not only to yourself, but also to your business? Because if you have even just those 3 things, my friends, your business has got a chance to be an amazing creation in your life and in the lives of your customers and your clients. You know, there's new ideas coming all the time, and I love hearing about new creative ideas. Or I love hearing about somebody who wants to do something, but they've got a different way of wanting to do it. All right. There's room for thousands and millions of businesses in the world. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to receive the possibilities of that dream. And when you start to step forward with it, celebrate. Celebrate each and every day. Today, I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating with myself, with my business, and I'm celebrating with you, and I'm inviting you to do the same. I would love, again, to invite you to connect with me. Christine at inspiredchoices.ca is my email address. Or come back next week. We've got another show for you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about you know much more than you acknowledge. My friends, thank you so much for being here. And until we see you next week, I want you to remember that you can always make another choice. Take good care. And remember, dream, dream, dream. Mwah. Until next week.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.